Habibi is the last seed of the event, but has already taken some games here in pools and could certainly make an upset here as well, especially with the kind of matchup that's coming up. Now, of course, Réhann, very, very good Luigi. We've seen taken so many amazing players on stream today, all ready to last hit, so definitely has the skill to be able to overcome a matchup like this. And we already see, yep, those up airs are going to be the kind of thing that you're looking for, because you really want... Luigi is typically going to want to grab you. Or if he's not grabbing you, at least look for those like low to the ground hits, like forward air or whatever. But we see the unorthodox style that Réhann is more or less forced to adapt. And then on the rare occasion that we do get our opening, getting a good punish off of that too, getting the down throw in an up B just straight away. We are eating the throw, so that Dragon Arm is going to be powered up from Habibi as he continues to put on the hurt and pressure. But Réhann is going to be fighting with every little bit that he possibly can, but forced to air dodge by the Ram, and the Dragon Laser is going to eat him up, but we almost get the 0 to death off of that grab using our invincibility to get there. And oh, just catching the air dodge, finds the Shoryuken. And what was an even match all of a sudden goes away. And I love this acceptance from both players, like what the win condition is, right? Or the condition after like invincibility. Réhann just opting to take the grab both times that Habibi has lost to stock, and we see Habibi unfortunately doing the same, but one of these is not built like the other. Habibi playing at the back foot right now, just cornering himself over and over again. And of course that does create the space that Min Min is generally going to want to pull, but it also leads to stuff like this. As Réhann going for that downer, going for the reset. We don't find it, but when we are this far ahead, it is looking good. Now, of course, Min Min, not one of those characters you want to play with your food with. Perhaps should have gone for the back air because 90% on this Min Min. But one good jump call out off stage could potentially reverse the situation as Habibi does take it a last stock. Here we go, Ram into Dragon. We try to get the Dragon Laser too for that extra damage. We're still powered up, still have yet to be grabbed. Oh, and here we go with the powered up Dragon once more, and all of a sudden, Réhann, who is about to take it absolutely handedly, is now falling behind as Habibi has yet to get hit since taking the previous stock, and oh no, he is off stage once more. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This matchup so difficult for Luigi to find those openings. He needs to make the most of every hit, but we have to actually get in there and get a hit now as Habibi is starting to run away with some momentum. And now the percentages may be close, but the way that Habibi is playing, he is not letting Réhann play the game. As we do finally concede and we throw the Megawatt out, we go for the grab right there. Both players now scrambling as Habibi is in the corner, and we do finally find the defensive Dragon. Last hit for both players, and oh no, we're trying to push through with the Ram. Réhann guesses correctly. We have the roll on through. But none of it is going to matter. It is all for naught. And Réhann was up by so much, and Habibi was just able to come back in a big way. Great advantage state in that first stock, able to sneak it out at 70% with that Dragon Laser. And then we see once again just solid neutral, solid fundamentals from Habibi, spacing out, knowing when to position himself in the corner, when it was safe to roll back into that corner, throw out those arms, and just able to turn it around and eke it out. Of course, though, Réhann, overcoming matchups at the very beginning, certainly has the talent to be able to overcome it once more, as long as we find a way to finish our food. I think at this point in time, just thinking about all the different stages that we could go to, just bringing it back to PS2. Admire the confidence to just go right back into it with a clear head. And 3, 2, 1, they're about to get it started. And let me tell you, this match is important, as this is going to determine who that last seed is. Coming out of Pool 1. I believe it's 5 out of the 6 players do make it out of pools. So both of them are going to make it so far, but one of you is going to have a more favorable matchup than the other one coming into this, as both of these players are technically at the bottom of their pool. Habibi is number 4, and Réhann is number 5. But if Habibi does win this, I believe he could potentially actually be putting winners over Willie if he takes it in 3-0 fashion. So every game counts, folks, especially in these round-robin group stage pools. Gotta make the most of everything. Réhann is on the back foot once again, and that is to be expected in a matchup like this. Luigi is the kind of character where he's not going to win neutral very often, but what makes him such a strong and potent character is the kinds of things he can do when he does get those openings. And Réhann, I understand we're trying to maybe go for the reset with the down air, but you gotta wonder if maybe that back air for positioning would just be a little bit better in those spots, because Habibi is consistently DIing out as we do get the read on that. So we do recognize the situation as Réhann to go for it there. And hopefully he can continue putting on the pressure with his openings, because every single mistake that Habibi makes could be fatal, regardless of percentage, especially because Min Min is a tall character without exactly the best landing options. That is sort of the one thing that you have as Luigi in this matchup. But we see, you just get put into the blender off stage over and over again. Ram, so hard to get through. So hard to get through. Is going to be putting up those shields in the right spots. But look at Habibi just baiting out Réhann into taking center stage there. Habibi backs off, gets the pivot grab, and that leads to yet another stock as Habibi is potentially looking to take this game as well. And we have the powered up Dragon Arm from getting that grab in the first place. So it's going to be even more challenging and more punishing to get in on Habibi here. And we do get the Ram Nair into the Ram Dragon Arm conversion. Just these bread and butters from Habibi, so consistent. And we do force out the air dodge with the Mega Laser. And oh my goodness, Réhann just not ready on that edge guard. So we force out the air dodge with that laser, and we're just not ready to tech there. Habibi now up 2-0, and once again could potentially take the spot over Willie in the 3rd seed for, I believe, winner's side in that instance. Réhann just looking to put himself on the board. And I do not envy the position that he's in. This is absolutely a rough draw in terms of matchups. But it all starts at character select, and you always have a choice. And sometimes we do see things like that, Réhann getting good percent, but of course, missing the sweet spot on the downer is going to cost him the kill. And especially with how this matchup has been going, being able to hit that consistently is absolutely vital. The percentage game, it doesn't necessarily matter versus Luigi that much, because that's just the style of character that he is. The important thing is actually finding a way to close that out, and he just has to. He has to find a way. And here we go. Getting that consistent ledge trap, though, that is going to be a great way to start it. If we're not going to kill, that's going to be the second best thing for us to go for. So consistently getting this damage, putting on the hurt versus this Min Min, and using that Zair to push Habibi away from the stage. No jump. And Réhann now counterpicked to Hollow Bastion is going to be working out thus far as we take that advantage state and run with it. But Habibi looking to do exactly the same. And oh my goodness, going for the dash attack there. I wonder if we could have gone for the dash grab. But either way, Réhann extending this lead. And here we go. 60, now 70%. Habibi putting Réhann off stage once again. Forcing out the air dodge here. Let's see what the option is. Ledge jump. I do believe we still have a double jump in the back pocket, yeah. Réhann, another opportunity at life, going to use the forward air to be able to get through there, but now air dodges once again. We got to get our feet to touch the ground. That's the all-important thing, and yes, we do. Neutral air into that back air to get the positioning, but overextends by going off stage a little bit, and that's going to cost us our stock and potentially the lead. We still have that percentage advantage, and of course, if we do get the grab in this position, it can be very scary for Habibi. But Habibi, dead set on nickel and diming. Oh, I don't think we have a double jump. No, we don't. And Réhann, recognizing the situation, is gonna get up in there. Seeing that Habibi had panicked, double jumped, and did a weird footstool. And in that scramble, Min Min is not gonna be looking like the best character, as Réhann out of shield is going to be getting a lot of good damage here, and I feel like that is the kind of opening that we're looking for as we get the spot dodge on the grab into that up B. And finally, Réhann on the board, showing us what he's all about. Just using those forward airs to put on pressure, uses the neutral get up as potentially a bait into getting Habibi to do something. And up B is going to seal the deal, but now we do have counter pick advantage over to Habibi. Réhann needs 2 more in a row to stay alive, and I do think mathematically it is impossible for Habibi to take that 3rd seed now, but of course we want to play our heart out. We want to get as many W's as possible and keep our 4th seed position now. That is the goal for Habibi, and we are running it back to Hollow Bastion. A little bit of a surprise. I mean, it's a great stage for Min Min. You have all the space that you need to really make the most of those openings, but of course that does allow the opportunity for Luigi to have more spaces to be able to get the grab on such a flat space, and we're going for the double dare resets. I see the vision, but none of them have really been working out today for Réhann. We've seen it a couple times in his sets on stream, and I wonder if it is costing him damage. But he could also potentially be conditioning that air dodge out. I mean, you never know. With players as good as these, 17,000 layers deep into the conditioning, you never really know. Habibi, though, going to continue to put on the hurt in neutral, and as we've seen before, only takes 1 good opening and no double jump for Réhann. We're just able to grab the ledge with the tips of our fingers. Another chance at life as we're both looking for the kill here. Habibi just content to play patient on the ground. He's going to throw out that Ram upward angle, and that upward angled Ram is going to be a great spot for Habibi to catch those jump ins. It's sort of the one weakness that Min Min has. She doesn't really have a whole lot for that situation. But there we go. Great dash attack for Réhann, and of course 0 to 0%. It's going to be the spot where Luigi likes to make it happen. No rage to make anything funny. Just all of the fundamentals in the world. Get that one opening with the grab, get the down tilt, get the forward air, just something to get that big early percent damage. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits to 41, 5, 6 to 62. And that was a pretty good opening, all things considered. Forward air, gonna karate chop him, and sending Habibi off stage once again. That was the 2nd ledge grab, but we're not gonna capitalize on it. Try and see if we can sneak it out, because remember, folks, Min Min only gets 3 ledge grabs realistically with that up B, with that tether. So you gotta count him, because that's gonna be the spot where Min Min is going to struggle, is in those offstage situations. That's why we see that ledge trapping over and over again from Réhann being so vital to keeping himself in the set. And dare I say, the closest game we've had thus far in the set, 133 to 63%. But one good opening from either player here could bring it back down to last stock. And here we go. We have the Luigi off stage. Habibi gonna hold down the ledge. And oh my goodness, just sneaks through with the Cyclone, using that invincibility to cut straight through that Ram. And now the back air, a great punish against Habibi, throwing out that arm in both directions. You can see Habibi doing such a great job of playing this neutral, but gets into spots of panic sometimes, and it becomes so rough and difficult as Réhann beginning to catch on. Getting those openings, getting through those arms, catching onto those habits, and Habibi hanging on for dear life, but rolls straight into that up B. And now we have ourselves a game 5, and of course it's the last one of the first wave of pools to make it into top 16. And we see Réhann taking a second, taking a side, taking a drink of water, the hydration nation out here. As Habibi now ponders over what to do next. I don't advise staying Hollow Bastion, but that's my personal belief. So we're going to think about where to go next. Take a second, analyze everything. Réhann beginning to make those adaptations in the late game. Habibi just needs to find his footing, find his way to claw back into this set, as Smashville is going to be the choice. That is crazy work. Crazy work. That is so surprising. But I like the idea here. Now, conventionally, Smashville is probably Min-Min's worst stage. But in a matchup like this, where you want to make the most of every opening, as long as you're able to establish that space at all, Min-Min is going to make it really hard for you to get center stage. So despite the fact that this isn't a very good stage for Min-Min on paper, because against Luigi specifically, you only need one opening to get there, that's probably the kind of thinking that Habibi is going through. And he has practiced against these monostatic platforms often. I have seen it in the friendlies, I've seen it in his other games, and take a look, I mean, it's already working out. Because the stage is so small, you have so much more off stage to play with, that one back throw or one Ram is just enough to send off stage. So I love this idea. Here we go, though. Ram going to be controlling the neutral. Habibi just doing his best not to overcommit with anything, because those openings are where Réhann has been having the moneymakers. And you see that up tilt getting him punished. And oh no! Habibi did not want to throw out the second arm, but just pressed B a little bit too early and going for up tilt. Oh no, this is not what you want to see, as we are going to go for the grab. We do miss the combo, or the 0 to death combo, but we still get 70 off of it. And Réhann looking to reverse 3-0 potentially, as we see this advantage state being pushed further and further. Finally, a poorly DI'd Megawatt, keeping Habibi's hopes and dreams alive. Oh, but the up tilt up B from Réhann, that adaptation coming through. Matchups be damned. As just one more good opening from him could seal the deal, seal the reverse 3-0, and make his fans back at home proud. Here we go, though. Habibi catching these jump-ins, continuing to try and put on some pressure. One arm at a time, but you see the change from that game 1. Habibi was constantly and confidently, dare I say, getting those combos before, but now Réhann has put on so much hurt that he's just causing Habibi